In this nugget, I'd like to introduce a method that you and I can gain ninja-like IPv4 skills if we'll simply follow the process. Let's begin. I'd like you to imagine that you and I have been invited to troubleshoot the engine on a small aircraft. Now, I don't know about you, but I have never ever worked on the engine of a small aircraft. I imagine there's things like a fuel system, there's probably an electrical system, but as far as me troubleshooting it, it would be very, very challenging because, again, I don't know the first thing about engines on airplanes. Now, when it comes to computer networks, if someone asked you and I to troubleshoot an issue that a customer is having communicating on that network, and it was due to IP addresses or subnet addresses or default gateways or the routing between those, it's very likely that between us we could knock that out of the park. And I'll tell you why. It's because I am very familiar with IP addressing and subnetting. And my friend, I'd like you to have those skills as well. So to accomplish that, I knew I'd created some IPv4 subnetting content previously. And so what I did is I sat down and I watched all 16 videos. They're fairly short. 16 short videos from our IPv4 subnetting course. And my friend, they are perfect for you and I as we continue together in this journey through the world of Network Plus. So what I'm asking you to do is that after this nugget is done, I want our next 16 nuggets to be the 16 nuggets from the IPv4 subnetting course that we'll go through together. Now, one of the challenges, I'm going to be right up front regarding IPv4 addressing and subnetting, is that for a person who is fairly new to it, it has a fairly short shelf life. And you might be saying, Keith, what do you mean a fairly short shelf life? Well, if you learn it, for example, you go through it, you do some exercises, but you don't apply it, that knowledge, very likely for a new person, is going to evaporate over a period of several weeks. So as a solution to that challenge, as we go through these 16 nuggets in the IPv4 subnetting course, I've included exercises in those nuggets that I want you to do as we go through those nuggets together. And by you doing those exercises with me, that'll help you reinforce those concepts that we learn in the IPv4 subnetting course. Also, in that IPv4 subnetting course, I've also included opt-out questions. And here's how they work. At the beginning of each nugget, they have a few simple questions that if you read those and you know the answers to them, you can think to yourself, oh, I've got this. I'm going to go to the next nugget. And the reason I did that is because it's very likely you may want to go through the IPv4 subnetting course initially, like right now, the next 16 nuggets we do together. And then again later, let's say a month goes by and you want to refresh your skills on IPv4 subnetting. By looking at the opt-out questions, you may be able to go through the entire course and just watch 2 or 3 videos where you needed to do the brushing up on. And again, the opt-out questions can help you confirm whether or not you already know the content that's in a specific nugget in that course. The third thing we're going to do to really reinforce these skills is that after we've gone through the IPv4 subnetting course together and we return together to this Network Plus course, the very next nugget in this course is going to be all about applying these subnetting skills that you've learned from the IPv4 subnetting nuggets. So for those of you who are brand new to IPv4 addressing and subnetting, absolutely go through the nuggets 1 through 16 in the IPv4 subnetting course as your next 16 nuggets. For those of you who have a familiarity with IPv4 and you think you have a fairly good understanding of it, I would also encourage you to check out those 16 nuggets and leverage the opt-out questions. So that way if you go to a nugget and you know the answers to the opt-out questions, you can say, oh yeah, no problem, I've got that, I'll jump to the next nugget. Because I want to make sure that as you and I continue in this Network Plus course, we have that knowledge in the bag, and we're going to leverage it as we move forward together. So your action item, my friend, is to enjoy the next 16 nuggets from the IPv4 subnetting course, and I look forward to seeing you there. Meanwhile, I hope this has been informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.